So British people will defend you even if they don't know you. I'm making this video because when I came to England, right, I had to take a taxi from the train station to my Airbnb. From the train station to my Airbnb took about 15 minutes, like 16 minutes tops. So I took a taxi. I was um I was told to take a taxi as soon as I arrived, and then basically just tell them exactly the address, and then to go to my Airbnb host. My Airbnb where I was going to be for almost a month, right? So the guy plugged in the address. We're having a conversation. We are chatting and stuff. Everything's going great. I was like just so happy to be here, and I was super exhausted because that was a very very long trip. I was actually traveling from I was from I came from Virginia, United States. So long trip. I wanted to just be on my bed at the Airbnb, just chill. So when I arrived to the Airbnb address, the guy said it's going to be uh, 60 quid, which now I know that he means 60 pounds, because when he kept saying 60 quid, I didn't really know what that meant. And I was like, you mean pounds? And he's like, yeah, 60 pounds. So anyways, so um, I paid the 60 pounds. And while I was paying the guy with my card, the Airbnb host came to the driveway and she welcomed me, and we say hi to each other, hello, all that stuff, and then she curiously asked, "So how much was the taxi?" And I told her it was 60 pounds. So by the time I answered her, the guy was already taking off. When I tell you, this woman was so pissed, she was just so mad that um the guy charged me 60 pounds from this train station to the location for the Airbnb, because it was only 15 minutes. And she was like, she was just so pissed about it. She was like, I'm gonna call them. I'm gonna write him a letter. Do you have the card? Do you have this information? All that stuff. And I said, oh yeah, he gave me his card, because I was like, if I want to get around, I can actually contact him, because I was chatting with him, and well, I felt like we had a really good discussion, conversations, throughout the ride to the Airbnb location. So I was like, you know what, I'm tired. Like, it's okay, no worries. I guess I will never call him to get a ride from him anymore or whatever. So then we go in, I get settled, all that stuff, right? And then she came back and she was like, out of curiosity, do you have his card, the taxi man's business card? I said, yeah, it's right here. She said, well, I'm just gonna keep in mind to make sure that if any guest that comes to my Airbnb, to make sure they avoid this taxi man. I said, okay. The next day, she calls that number and then she goes off on them. She go off, and she was talking about how you should be ashamed of yourself. That's a disgrace. Why would you charge this gentleman 60 quid for just 15 minutes, which is absolutely ridiculous. Because it normally cost about she said like 20, at least 20 pounds, because that was a private taxi. Like maybe 30 pounds, but 60 was like crazy because it was a private taxi. And yeah, she just went off, and she was defending me, saying that that wasn't okay. Why would you charge him that? And she felt like because I wasn't from here, from England, that the guy took advantage of me. It was like, I'm just gonna charge 60 quid. So as soon as she asked me how much was my travel, how much was the ride here, that's why it kind of took off quickly, because maybe he realized that, oh wait, she gonna realize that I kind of like I could have basically, messed up here. So that's why he left so quickly. But I'm saying this just to say that, she didn't have to do that. Because I mean, it wasn't her money, it was my money, right? It was my money that I actually spent, and I was like, that's okay. But she literally slept on it, and then the next day, and she was like, no, I'm gonna call them. They're gonna hear from me, because that wasn't okay. So that's just another story of how, you know, British people are nice people. At least so far, my experience with everything that's been going on here since I moved here from the US, like everybody's been like super amazing to me. And to this day, my Airbnb host, with such good friends now. She met my wife, my kid. We actually saw them last weekend. Yeah, she's such great people. But yeah, she defended me. Yeah, she defended me against that person. And but yeah, that was it.